That summer in Algarve, a forgotten song from the tide, pulled me back to a love I thought I'd lost forever. I'm Theo, and this is the story of Rui, a diver whose heart echoed a melody that wove our past and present under Portugal's starry skies. 3 summers ago, I sat in a dimly lit Lisbon archive, my fingers brushing faded sheet music, my heart as worn as the pages. At 28, I was a musicologist, chasing Portugal's forgotten folk songs, but my own melody had gone quiet. I'd come out as gay at 20, embracing my truth, but love remained a ghost, a blurry memory of a boy from a childhood summer, his laughter mingling with waves, lost to time. My professor, Dr. Mendez, saw my spark fading. "You need a song, Theo," she said, handing me a lead. A legend from the Algarve coast about the tide song, a melody carried by the sea, preserved in ancient shells. "Find it," she urged. In July 2025, I boarded a train to Faro, my notebook brimming with questions, hoping the ocean would sing me back to life. I didn't expect Rui. Carvoeiro greeted me with golden cliffs cradling turquoise waters, fishing boats bobbing in the harbor, and summer festivals lighting the streets with lanterns. The air was thick with salt, grilled sardines, and the promise of something new. I rented a whitewashed cottage, its terrace overlooking the sea, and spent days interviewing locals about the tide song. Most dismissed it as myth, their laughter warm but skeptical. An old fisherman, Senor Almeida, leaned close, his eyes gleaming. "The divers know," he said. "Find Rui. He pulls secrets from the tide." That evening, at a beachside cafe, I met him. Rui, 27, was the ocean incarnate. Sun-bleached brown hair falling into sea-green eyes, a diver's tan framing a crooked smile that felt like home. His wetsuit hung loose, a shell necklace glinting at his throat. "You're the song hunter?" he teased, sliding into the chair across from me. My heart stuttered. "Something like that," I said, his laugh warm like waves lapping the shore, stirring something deep. Rui agreed to help, and the next morning we set out on his boat, the sea sparkling under a cloudless sky. We sailed to Benagil Cave, a grotto where sunlight streamed through a skylight, painting the water gold. Rui dove, his movements fluid, and surfaced with a barnacle-crusted shell. "Not your song," he grinned, tossing it to me, "but it's a start." As we drifted, he shared his story. Raised in Carvoeiro, diving since he was 12, chasing shipwrecks and legends. "The sea keeps secrets," he said, his gaze distant, like he was searching for one. I told him about Lisbon, my obsession with lost music, and a memory that haunted me. A boy on a beach, singing to me when I was 10. "I don't know his name," I admitted, my voice soft. But his song stuck with me. Rui's eyes lingered, a flicker of recognition I couldn't place. We became a team, our days a rhythm of sea and sound. Rui dove into hidden coves, bringing me shells and sailors' tales, while I recorded fishermen's stories and sketched melodies in my notebook. At night, we'd sit on the beach, the festival's fado music drifting over, and talk. His dream to dive Pacific reefs, my fear I'd never find the tide song or my own heart. One evening, as the sun bled orange into the sea, Rui handed me a peculiar shell, its spirals etched like ancient runes. "Found it deep," he said, his voice low. "Hold it to your ear." I did, and a faint melody hummed, a lilting tune, achingly familiar, like a lullaby from my past. My hands trembled. "This is it," I whispered, my voice catching. Rui's smile faltered, his eyes searching mine, and I sensed he was holding something back. That night, at my cottage, I played the shell's tune on my guitar, the notes weaving into a song I swore I'd heard before. Flashes came, running on a beach, a boy's laughter, a promise to meet again. I dug through my suitcase, finding an old photo from 2007. Me 10, on an Algarve beach, grinning next to a boy with green eyes, both of us clutching shells. My breath caught. Was it Rui? The next day, I showed him the photo, my voice unsteady. "This could be you." He froze, his fingers tracing the image. "I remember a boy," he said, his voice cracking. "We sang together, made a pact to find each other. Then my family moved, and I lost him. His eyes met mine, glistening. Theo, it's you. The truth crashed over me like a wave. Rue was my summer boy, the ghost in my memories, his song the thread that tied us. But why had we forgotten? Rue took me to his dive shop, a cluttered shack smelling of salt and rope, and opened a tin box of childhood keepsakes. A crayon drawing I'd made, a shell like mine. I kept these, he said, his voice barely above a whisper, hoping you'd come back. He explained the shell's legend. It bound two hearts, but only if they faced their past. We'd been kids, too young to hold on, and time had blurred our faces. Now the tide was singing us back together, its melody a bridge across years. The festival's peak brought a moonlit concert on the beach, lanterns swaying in the breeze. I've been invited to perform, a chance to share the tide song, but nerves gripped me. My music felt too raw, too personal. Rue found me on the cliffs, his hand covering mine. Sing our song, Theo, he said, his voice steady. It's not just yours, it's ours. I took the stage, my guitar trembling, and played the tide song, weaving lyrics about a boy, a shell, a summer that never faded. The crowd swayed, their faces glowing in the lantern light, and Rue stood in the front row, his eyes locked on mine, shining with pride. When I finished, applause roared, but I only saw him. He pulled me into the surf, waves lapping our ankles, and grinned. I never stopped looking for you, he said. I kissed him, salt on his lips, the sea humming our melody, the stars bearing witness. The next week, we chased our past. Rue showed me the beach from the photo, now a quiet cove framed by cliffs. We dove together, his hand guiding mine through turquoise depths, finding more shells that whispered fragments of the tide song. Each dive felt like reclaiming a piece of us, our laughter echoing in underwater caves. At the festival's close, I recorded the melody for my research, but it was more. Our story, etched in music, a love that time couldn't erase. On my last night, we lay on the beach, stars blazing above, and Rue slipped his shell necklace over my head. Find me again, he said, echoing our childhood pact, his voice thick with promise. I left for Lisbon the next day, my heart full, the tide song playing in my mind. Back in my archive, I transcribed the melody, but it's more than notes. It's Ray. It's us. Algarve wasn't just a coast. It was the place where forgotten song found its echo, where a boy from my past became my future. I keep his necklace close, a reminder that some songs, like some loves, are never truly lost. The tide always sings them home. That's how the tide's forgotten song brought me back to Rue. If this gay love story touched your heart, smash that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to join our journey. Comment below, would you chase a lost summer love? We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. Help us get there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.